This is the housekeeping for March, 90s Percentile.
Lousy smarch 90s percentile.
And that's it. Go to Amazon.com, everybody. Amazon.wepodcast.com.
.com.
Oh.
60 minutes are on the clock and straight out of We Studios. This is 90s Percentile. My name is Dan.
My name is Jack, and we're talking everything 90s and maybe also everything before and after.
And we are joined in studio by two guests. Two lovely guests have joined us.
Double the fun.
It's me and Jack. We're the guests today. No.
Give everybody give them what they want.
We have Calaine, Schafer, and Kristina Mueller are here. So how's it going?
Good. Jinx.
Whoa.
Now they can't now she
Now
can't
they're
podcast.
going to be silent for the rest of the episode, so we can do whatever we want, Jack.
No. I'm unjinxing her.
Christina,
I never
Christina.
realized how you could do that.
Oh, is that how you do it? You do 3 times?
Three
Isn't
times.
that a 90s? Isn't that a 90s?
That's
thing?
There's,
pretty
there's
nice.
also a chemical cure, but there's a lot of the side effects are terrible.
See, and I thought it was touching because I was like, how
Oh,
do
is that what you were doing?
I was wondering what that was. You were doing a gentle pat
I
on her
thought
back.
you were like consoling her because she
Yeah,
couldn't
it's like,
talk
sorry,
anymore.
you jinxed.
No, I was like touching her, like unfreezing her.
I also think if you buy a Coke,
That's what
right?
I was going to
Jinx,
say.
buy
I
me
thought
a
Buy me a
I
Coke,
had
yeah.
to buy you a
But that's
Coke.
consumerist, and Coke's bad for you. There's a soda tax now.
very 90s.
It's just easier to say the name 3
How
times.
90s.
How serious did you guys take jinxing back in the day?
Deathly serious.
Like,
Oh, very
I
serious.
would not-
In
I-
elementary school,
yeah.
so serious.
Oh, yeah.
I would just not talk.
Oh,
Why
see,
was that? Why were we so dumb?
And it was-
superstition.
I didn't
guess.
take it seriously. I just talked.
Really?
Yeah.
I was always really upset. I was always like, oh, when someone jinxed me.
I
Yeah,
just,
I would do
just
the
didn't
mouthing.
know when it was a real jinx,
Right.
so
Yeah,
I wasn't
sign
going to be
language.
taken for a fool. I was like,
You were the smart one, I think.
I was going to say we should introduce you guys, but I feel like that's the best bio. That should be your obituary.
They took jinxing very seriously. No.
She tried to yell for help, but
She was jinxed.
and she's dead now.
We're very happy to have both of you here. You guys do a web series together.
that's
We
right.
did.
We did. Yeah.
And that is, what's that series called? I know, but for the listeners.
B,
the series.
Like B movie.
or like
No.
B, Bettina and
Jerry
Elaine.
Seinfeld, I'm a bee.
You like jazz?
You like jazz?
No, I'm being facetious because I'm trying to get you to explain.
It's B, Bettina and Elaine, and it's about 2 friends, 2 phones, and about 2 to 4 minutes.
I like that. That's
And
good.
it's about the moments that glue friendship together. So just the little.
Can I just gotta say,
mundane
you
things.
guys arrived separately. It's
Yeah.
a Wii Studios.
Yep.
And as soon as Kristina came in, Calaine got up from the studio and ran to the door, and you guys hugged.
Yeah, it was,
And
it was a
Yeah.
warm
Yeah.
embrace.
I don't think I've hugged Dan once. I don't think I hugged you at your wedding.
I think you guys should get
I
up
don't
right
think so.
now and hug.
I think
Oh, that would be so great.
That would be so great.
no.
Well,
I think we've written sketches where there's a sketch where we were supposed to hug.
I think so. And
How
didn't we
was
just like
that for
shake
you?
hands instead?
I think we might have just shook hands.
You know, we're very manly
The
guys.
sketch we wrote was, I give you a very fancy cake box, and you go, oh, thank you, and you
Oh,
open it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and there was supposed to be a rock inside. You go, a rock? Thank
Right,
you.
and the
then you
twist
hug
being
me.
I was actually happy
but
to
we
get a
couldn't get a
rock.
cake box because we were 16 years old. So
Yes.
I just grabbed my cat.
It was like a cat house
yeah,
thing.
like one of those furniture things for the cats where it has a hole and the cat sleeps in the
Oh,
hole. So I
yeah.
gave him that and put a rock in it.
So instead of our simple bait and switch cake skit, it was this weird surreal. You're
like-
giving me a cat that's a rock
It was like
skit.
some weird David Lynch sketch.
Yeah.
And I really can't remember if we hugged or not.
I think we may have actually hugged. That's one of the ones we actually have on film.
Yeah,
we
don't
could,
you
we
But
could
have
it's
put
on
that
it's,
somewhere.
it's only on VHS, which I can't. I have
we
nothing.
gotta
90s.
convert it.
I got nothing to play it with.
And that was 90s.
Also, we've lost the
So
audio
90s.
because
Oh,
we
really?
we recorded our audio VHS commentary over the master track.
Oh, we did? Oh, we were
It wasn't
dumb.
smart. Yeah,
No.
it wasn't smart.
We could dub it though. We could do like a little
Dub our audio commentary.
No, I'm saying we could
Mute
do
the-
what's it called? The hell you call it when you go in and ADR. We
Yeah,
can ADR it.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
We're not going to, but we could. I'm just talking about things we
But
could do.
This was like 20 years ago. This is
Yes,
the last
this
time
was-
you hugged.
We're 36
was-
years old. No,
No,
This was 1999
this was
probably
16
or 2000.
years ago.
It
Yeah,
is 16
17,
years.
17 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, that wasn't that off.
Yeah, not that
See-
far off.
Oh, that's horrible. That makes
I mean, we're not that far off from 36, Jack.
kind of need a hug right now.
Yeah, we are in our
Well,
30s, sir.
So
Goals.
back to your videos, which are not filmed on VHS, correct?
No.
And you didn't record over the master audio.
It depends.
so-
on the
Yeah, we have
episode.
some ADR.
Yeah.
So you guys are in season 2 right now, or is season 2 finished?
Season 2
done.
is finished.
When's season 3?
We're thinking.
Is this exclusive?
Do you not want to say, or is this a We Studios exclusive?
No, I think
No.
this is great. I think we have done B and finished
Time for C.
B. And it's time for C. I think we're looking at new material and
man.
writing new stuff and
Yeah.
My girlfriend gets so mad when I go, "It's time for C." She's not,
I mean, but
she
it
does not
is.
find that romantic in the least.
No, I don't
But
think she would.
I'm just telling her I'm excited about season 3 of B.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Oh, okay." And then we have sex.
Then you give her the C.
I give her the old C.
You
Because I'm a
salty
man.
dog.
I'm almost 36 years old.
I don't hug anyone.
no.
I'm here to fucking not hug.
That's our tagline.
Jack Picone story.
Oh dear.
We're so happy to have you in the studio today.
I think the best part of that story actually was that after watching B, he was like, "Now it's time for sex."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, why not?
Because it created
Sure.
such intimacy.
yeah, right.
That's what it
don't
is.
Yeah, we all have our shows.
yeah.
Mine is this web series called B.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play an episode from season 1.
Season 1.
We got a clip
Episode 8.
ready.
Got a clip
Yeah.
primed here. It's like when Jay Leno used to have that
Rare.
TV lower behind
Yeah,
the
right,
guy's
right.
head. Except not that because it's audio only. Do we want to set up the clip?
Sure. It's episode 8.
And
When you
the
gotta
ladies, when you gotta be, the ladies are meeting for a fancy Fridays dinner. And-
TGI Fridays?
No, just like they go out on Fridays
yeah.
Like
and
fancy
they
Fridays.
dress up
Yeah.
for fancy. And,
Cool.
Yeah.
And they,
Who are
well,
you?
Elaine has gotten there early
Somehow. That's odd.
somehow.
Oh, I get it. Calaine.
Elaine.
That's right.
Christina.
Oh.
Bettina.
It's
That's right.
super, yeah, it's intellectual.
We should do a series called. It's called
Mind blown.
we should do Ack and Pan.
Let's do it. Ack and Pan, they hug all the time.
It's just constant
'Cause they're
hugging.
Totally the
But
opposite of
guys,
us.
it was total fate because the show is all about being and being you. And
Yeah.
Sure.
the fact is that Bettina and Elaine spell
B.
B.
And every-
and
Oh
it's,
my
and it's
God.
Just like,
And
levels upon levels.
Every episode title starts with a BE.
And they are
B.
us, basically.
yeah,
That's very
every
cool.
episode is based on a real experience.
So it's a documentary series.
All right,
Yeah,
Pretty much.
basically.
Pretty much.
Let's play the clip real quick, and then we'll tell people where they can find it.
Okay, cool.
All right. So here's
When you got to be.
Bettina going to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yep.
She's in the
That's a
bathroom.
Great setup.
Yeah.
Elaine?
Bettina, is that you?
Yes.
Wait, you know my farts?
They're very distinct.
Well, what can I say? I'm a gassy person, but at least I'm unique.
Good lord.
Well, I guess that's a good
Yeah,
enough place.
that's a good place to
and,
jump out.
It makes it even funny if you could actually see the clip because you guys are all dolled up for Fancy Friday too.
Yeah.
While you're talking about your distinct
While you're
farts.
farting it up.
And we have an overhead shot of us
And
in
we
the
are
toilet
in
stalls.
separate stalls, yeah.
which
Very
was
artsy, in
big-
fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Very
a big
fartsy.
deal. It took a long time.
The
Very
definition of
artsy
artsy-fartsy.
It took a long time to rig that thing, so we were proud of that shot.
Okay, so
Nice,
if people
very
want to
good.
see you guys with your pants down on the toilet bowl
That's
from a
right.
Which
artsy overhead shot.
I assume all of our
In
listeners
our
do.
old art school, right?
yeah,
in our
yeah.
acting school, yeah.
That's what the women's room looked like.
Yep, it
Wow.
was drab.
Yeah.
Did you guys
like a
clean
middle
it
school.
before you started shooting?
Oh, we did a lot to it
Yeah, 'cause-
before we started shooting.
Because it looks a lot cleaner than I imagined.
Yeah.
So where can we find these?
It's on www.betheseries.com.
Okay.
.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's all there.
Not the letter
Oh,
B, not the bug.
You should get the Belgium website and have it be be.be.
BE.
Yes.
Whoa.
Just throwing that out there.
Whoa.
You're just filled with good ideas tonight, Jack. This is insane.
What was the other ones?
I don't remember. You had one, which is 100% more than usual.
I'm filled with that one idea. I'm just going to be bringing up the Belgian domain name, which I'm not even 100% sure is BE.
Yeah, I don't know that
but
it is.
I'm going to seed it into the rest of the podcast.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you just lie to us on your podcast? It's not BE.
And wouldn't it have
I
to be...
wouldn't lie. It was like it was an estimated.
You used your imagination.
Guesstimate.
Wouldn't it be the series.b?
Maybe.
I'm poking all sorts
now
of
we're
holes
looking
in
it
this
up.
thing.
So
I take it back.
What do I want to look at? Do I want to look up b.be or do I
Yes.
want to look up the series.be?
Look up the series.b, I think.
Oh, I'm doing
B. Oh.
be.be.
It's going to be the website for Bebe's Kids, the movie.
Testing.
Oh,
One,
Oh, it's not
two,
taken.
three.
It's not taken.
Whoa.
You could buy it.
Trippy.
BB. See?
So you
and
can
there
buy
it is.
be.be.
Or maybe it is taken. I don't know what this is.
Or
don't
no,
know.
you know what it should be? It should be watch.b.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're like telling people, yo, watch the B.
Yeah.
We'll get to the 90s
Right,
in just a
exactly.
moment. This is our new format.
This
We're
is
just testing
riveting.
websites.
Post that? Yeah, no, you can buy it.
Watch.be is BZ.
Inbegrippen B,
in this-
domeinnaam.
In
This is
Belgium.
in a funny looking language.
What's the domain name for Belgium?
That looks like Netherlands. Alles voor
Yeah.
ondernemend Nederland.
What not domain name? What's the suffix?
It's a top level domain is the official name.
What's the top level domain for Belgium?
All the Dutch people watching this are probably like, Jesus, her accent.
Siri is a piece of shit.
Series
So-
garbage. All right, so that's fun. We found a couple of websites that you guys can and should purchase, but our listeners might do it first.
Okay, sounds great. I mean,
But-
we have this website, but
You already do have a website.
second website, always good.
Which is betheseries.com. Which
Yes, thank
that
you for-
works.
yeah.
.com is a
All
good.
the episodes are there.
You know, we have a .com. It's wepodcast.com. You probably heard us plug it at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, you can buy money.
We may as well- you can buy money?
You can buy old.
Guys, we are selling our money.
You can buy collecting coins. Collection
Yeah,
coins.
that's true.
Does Donald
Ooh.
Trump have any commemorative plates yet?
I don't know. Not yet.
God.
Oh,
I have
God.
nothing to commemorate just
He
yet.
probably does from his old days of being just Donald Trump.
Well,
I
that
have
too. Yeah, but
Trump
doesn't every
University
president get one?
commemorative stakes. I have
Yeah.
That's
commemorative
terrifying.
stakes is what
That's terrifying.
Trump
So
just
is there
said.
is there like a small family of like immigrant white people
Yeah.
in like a house somewhere with like a framed photo of Donald Trump like at the end of their like kitchen
probably
table
is somewhere.
and they're eating like food and they're the
Off their Trump
thank you
commemorative
bless us oh
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Make
Oh,
dinner
ugh.
great again.
Isn't that make dinner great again? That's what the plate says.
That's the plate say. Make dinner great again.
Oh man, that's depressing.
It is depressing. You know what else is depressing about Donald Trump? Literally everything. So let's talk about the 90s.
Amen.
As our guests, you gals have the right to choose our first 90s topic, or we can jump into the random generator where listeners of the show have gone to wepodcast.com to enter their 90s topics. What do you want to do?
I liked Colleen's
I wanted to
suggestion.
talk
Elaine's
about.
got an idea.
I want to talk about Blockbuster.
We,
Okay.
we know because you tried to whisper
Yeah, I
it
tried to whisper
before the
it,
show
It totally didn't work.
with the mics in front of your face while we were
But
testing our levels.
This was, see, my experience of the 90s was a little unique because I wasn't allowed to watch television. So
Interesting.
I had to. So I watched television with my parents, which meant, Masterpiece Theater.
So you could
or
watch
Star
TV,
Trek.
just not
Yeah.
by yourself.
Yeah. So, but I wasn't
What
like.
an odd media diet. Masterpiece Theater or Star Trek?
You could do
I
a lot
know,
worse.
right?
You could do
You
a
could
lot
do a lot
worse.
worse. It's just bizarre.
Great childhood.
Yeah.
But we also watched movies, but we didn't have a VCR, so we had to rent the VCRs from Blockbuster.
You could do that.
You could rent.
You could
a
do that, yeah.
This
You
was
could
the
rent game systems,
highlight
too.
of my childhood when I was 4 or 5. Was the Fridays we would go to Blockbuster and we would rent the big blue VCRs, and
That's
we would
amazing.
bring them
How
back
much was it?
home.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to just buy a VCR if you're going to rent one every week?
They don't want the temptation of
Was it
having
every
an
week,
evil
though?
No,
VCR.
it wasn't every week though.
It
See,
wasn't
this
that
was
often,
a
I don't
special
think.
thing. This was
Yeah.
not every week.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. We're talking like serious.
Wait, do you remember the first one?
The first, yeah,
Movie?
yeah. Well, I was sick and I was allowed to stay home and watch Sleeping Beauty.
Oh.
Not only
It's a
was
solid
I
first
allowed to
movie.
watch Sleep. No, I don't know if it was my first movie.
Well,
but
it's
this
a
is
solid
my-
first Blockbuster rental or whatever it was.
Yeah,
I
but,
remember mine.
Yeah,
We should do that later. Yeah.
Sure.
I'll go around with our first Blockbuster.
I
rentals.
don't, but-
Oh,
Well,
never mind.
actually, I don't think I
I have a
did.
good one, but anyway.
Mine's bad. It's Tremors 2.
I just remember Sleeping Beauty because I was allowed to watch it twice in one day because I was feeling so sick.
Okay.
Wow.
That's how strict the
So
TV rules were.
Yeah, really.
So for me, growing up, McDonald's was a treat. And then when I got to a certain age, like 16, 17, and I could go out and hang out without parental supervision, I just started getting McDonald's all the time.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you could start watching movies independently, and did you binge?
Oh, hell yeah. So we moved to New Zealand, and my mother and I, and we had a television, and it had more than... And someone had given us a VCR and a television because New Zealanders are really nice. So they
They just give out VCRs at the border.
They furnished our house that we moved into.
That's amazing.
Because like my mom and I and they knew we were coming all the way from the States and we didn't have a lot of stuff. So they like gave us blankets and chairs and I think a bed and a TV and a VCR.
Wow.
And my mom was kind of distracted, and so I just all of a sudden I got to watch television, and I watched it 24/7. It was I turned it, and that's where I discovered a lot of things.
But
like
it was New
Full
Zealand
House.
television, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't because America.
Is there New Zealand television?
But
I don't
there
even
is.
know.
Yes, Shortland
Okay.
Street is a hospital show that
Okay.
I watched every
don't know
day
this
at
one.
6 p.m.
About Hobbit doctors.
Yeah, right.
No.
Eating 11sies and
Shortland Street was, typical ER
Yeah,
drama.
okay.
Yeah, it was great.
okay, but it was all New Zealand.
But you
was
got
New
plenty of
Zealand.
U.S. TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, that's awesome. But let's go back to Blockbuster
Yeah,
real quick because
Blockbuster's
that's a
amazing.
meaty topic that we can definitely talk about. Wow, what a difference! That was their slogan for a while.
Really?
Yeah, really? You don't remember that? Yeah,
I don't remember their slogan.
Make it a Blockbuster night. That was
Yes,
another one.
I
Sort of
remember that one.
that.
Ooh, that's right. Make it a Blockbuster night.
I don't remember any of
Oh,
that.
I absolutely remember that commercial very well. But I remember when Blockbuster opened pretty close to my house. We used to go to that one all the time back
It's a
in the
bank
day.
now.
It's a bank now. But when it first opened, actually it was a Palmer Video first. But then when it
That's
turned
right.
into a Blockbuster, oh man, that was just a game changer.
How old were you?
I was probably about 8.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
Staten Island. So
Okay.
not too far away from the studio right now. But it was just going to the movies and walking the aisles and just looking at the box cover art was the fucking best.
Yes.
And you don't get that anymore.
Yes, going to the movie store
I
was
don't
a lot
miss
of
it.
fun.
I don't
So
miss it.
I
fun.
do miss it
because I don't know. So I have 2 Blockbuster phases in my history. One
Yeah.
was I started Blockbuster pretty late. We never rented movies. My mom owned hundreds and hundreds of VHS. I grew
Yeah.
up watching the same 12 movies over and over. That's why
Sure.
I know them so well.
Yeah.
And then we really, really wanted to watch Tremors 2 because we were big fans of Tremors because it's one of our 18 VHS tapes.
Yep.
And we're waiting. We hear about it. We're waiting. And we find out it actually came out like 3 years ago and it just went straight to video.
Right.
And, like even the idea of straight to video was weird to us. And so my mom was like, okay, well, why don't we go rent it? So she signed up for a Blockbuster account. We went. I'd never been to Blockbuster before. I knew of it, and I knew
Yeah.
of Palmer Video.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of renting videos to me was still very, very foreign. And we rented it, and I think that was it. I don't.
I love that Tremors 2 was the movie that your mother was like, well, gotta get a Blockbuster
Yeah,
account.
my mother's the best. But so yeah, and then I guess we did start renting movies on the weekend. I don't really remember anything else we rented, but I guess I do remember like me and her going, and like we'd be waiting in line like a Friday 7 p.m. and they had like the popcorn and we like the
and the
nonpareils, the
yeah. Oh,
snow
yeah.
caps.
Snow caps.
So we get like a candy and a popcorn, and we make it like a Friday night.
Yeah.
Little romantic night with mom.
Actually,
But what
I
is
don't know if I want to tell
Tremors
this story.
about?
There we go.
Oh, now you have to tell it, I think.
Wait, ignore my question. Tell the story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one time she went to go return the video.
Yeah.
And I had the house to myself, and I was all excited. So I started,
Oh, no.
So I started.
Baby, don't tell the story.
So I started blasting the Men in Black theme song on loop and dancing.
Swerve.
And,
Not where I thought this was going.
and I was just dancing, and then like my mom wasn't home, and it was like a 5-minute drive back,
Yeah.
and like 2 hours went by, and I thought she died, and I just started crying while Men in Black was playing on loop, and I cried for an hour, and then finally she came and she's like, I was like, oh, sorry, I'm late. I bumped into so and so at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And I was like, you in there?
I love that when you said, "Oh, I started crying because I thought my mom was dead." They both went, "Oh," and I just started laughing.
But anyway, so
Because I
back.
know your mom's not dead.
Right, she's as of the time of this recording. Knock on wood.
Well, geez, I hope not.
So better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry.
Everybody knock on some wood. I don't have any by me.
So, did that taint your opinion of Blockbuster? Did
No,
you
so that was the first phase. I really don't
Trauma.
remember it that much.
Yeah.
But the second phase is with you. Basically,
so when we were in
would-
high school.
when you're in high school and you
Yeah.
go and especially when we start driving, what are we going to do tonight? What are we going to do tonight? Let's go
Yeah,
rent
the
a movie.
We watched
and we
lots of
would
movies.
spend an hour just walking around.
See, but I loved that.
I liked it for the first 10 minutes, but then it just got to the point where it's like we're looking at the same movies, we're all arguing
Right.
with each other.
Right.
Eventually,
So
we
you
came up with a
watched
system
many
where
movies.
everybody would get to pick one.
Yes.
And I got to go first. I got my name of the hat, and I picked Gosford Park because it was getting rave reviews.
Yeah.
not the best pick
And
for
you
the
all
teen boy
hated
crowd.
it. We all hated it, and I was not allowed to pick another movie for a while.
That's very true. And I think if I rewatched Gosford Park
You'd
now,
probably
I'd
love
probably
it.
love
You'd
it.
probably love
but
it.
when I was 15, I was not a big fan of it.
Yeah, no, but I didn't like. Here's the thing. You say I missed that experience. I
Yeah.
have that experience every night now when I go to Netflix
But you
because it's the
don't.
same thing. I'm scrolling through movies and I
No,
spend
but see,
45
I
minutes
understand.
looking for
It's
something.
I agree.
not
It's different.
What's
It's
different?
totally different.
What's
totally different.
There's no
It's
semen
more-
germs on the
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's more
Yeah, I want my
Tactile,
semen
yeah.
germ. Well,
And the pictures aren't as crazy. You can I used to study those pictures. You had the picture on the front, and then you had the
A
pictures
lot
on
of
the
the
back.
blockbusters didn't have covers. A lot of them were just like a Blockbuster video logo with like a label maker of the title on it.
well, but there was
then
there
it
was
was
usually a box cover art, and then
the-
behind
some.
that
For
there
some,
were
not
the
for all.
Blockbuster ones. For
Yeah.
some, not for all. But the difference is on Netflix. Well, actually, in Blockbuster, all you had was that box cover art. So you're looking at the front, you're reading the blurb on the back, you're seeing what Roger Siskel and Ebert said.
Roger Siskel and Ebert. That
Roger
very-
Siskel and
very-
Gene Ebert.
that very little known
Oh yeah.
movie reviewer.
But you're kind of taking a gamble because that's the movie you're
Yeah, I
walking out
gambled with Gosford Park.
Yeah,
And I lost.
You lost big time. But on Netflix, you can start watching a movie and turn it off. You can watch 5 movies in one sitting
That's
if
a
you
good
want.
thing.
I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. It's a different thing.
You're like saying, well, I miss the outhouse. It's I
do miss the outhouse.
You
You
get
get a
some
nice
fresh air. You get
breeze.
to walk.
Yeah.
It's not worse. It's just different. No, you're shitting in some house in your backyard as opposed to going
Where do you want to shit?
in your mouth.
That's why we don't hug, Jack.
Every
Good
time,
Lord. Every
time,
time we try to hug, you're always trying to shit in my mouth.
I don't know how hugs work.
Clearly.
Obviously, because you're
Clearly.
like, mouth is by an asshole.
There was one Blockbuster thing that I don't know if it was just a New York thing. I think it was an everywhere thing. For a long time, Blockbuster had a free section. You could rent stuff for free.
I don't remember that.
What?
Because all of the stuff was like anti-drug stuff. Oh. So it was like after-school specials, that kind of thing. But, and I guarantee you this is a topic in the Random Topic Generator, so I don't want to talk about it too much. There was a special that came out in the early 90s called Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, and I rented it all the time because it was free. Have you guys ever heard of this special?
No.
No.
So this is like a half-hour Saturday morning cartoon special where every cartoon comes together to stop this kid from taking drugs. You got the Ninja Turtles, you got Garfield, you got Alf. I think Pac-Man was in it. Like every
Garfield
show.
doesn't. I feel like Garfield wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I feel like Garfield would
They had
encourage
to
it.
they had
actually.
to bend some characters to make them fit into this world.
John, I don't think he should be smoking crack.
It is amazing. It's definitely on YouTube, and everyone should watch it. I watched it so
Should
many
we play
times
a
when I
clip?
was a kid. Sure.
Okay.
And then we have to get Christina's Blockbuster.
Yeah, and
experience.
I want to know what your Blockbuster experiences were. But this,
what is
I
it
vividly,
called? Comedy drug stars?
Comedy Drug Stars is what it's called. No, Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue. But I just vividly remember Alf being like, "You're gonna throw your life away. You can't do that. Drugs are
That's
bad."
If you're gonna
another
smoke something-
90s Is D.a.r.e. I mean, I think
Yeah,
D.a.r.e.
this was
still,
around the era of D.a.r.e. Yeah.
Does D.a.r.e. still exist? Like, that's so 90s to me.
I don't know. I
mean-
still see random D.a.r.e. bumper stickers like around Brooklyn.
I just recently saw someone with a D.a.r.e. T-shirt.
I feel like a lot of people wear them ironically these days.
Yeah.
So-
So people are doing a lot of drugs.
Wait. Where do you guys grow up besides New Zealand? Christine, where did you grow up?
Germany.
Germany.
and outside of Boston.
Okay, and
And I grew up in Arizona, California, Louisiana, New Zealand, and Connecticut.
okay.
Both grew up like 5 miles away from
Yeah.
where we are right now.
No, I'm surprised because I just
You guys are
assumed
well-traveled.
D.a.r.e. was a local thing, a New York thing, because we always had NYPD was very big onto like coming into the schools and anti-drug stuff. We had Spectre, we had
Spectre is
Dare-
fighting James Bond.
Yeah, well, there was that. That was where the
Yeah.
NYPD would come in, and I forget what
And
special.
Spectre? No.
I forget what the
I don't remember
initials are.
Spectre.
But there was all these different acronyms for anti-drugs. I just
Right.
assumed it was local. I am surprised
Yeah.
it was a national thing.
No, definitely.
international.
Oh, I think it was.
Defi- def-
not international.
But
You're saying that
So you
Belgium
took a
doesn't
trip
have
to the U.S.
d.a.r.e.
went to a D.A.R.E. class.
website?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Cartoon All Stars to the rescue. This thing is a work of art. It's so
All
good.
Satars.
Have you watched it recently?
There's a sequel, you know.
Not that recently. I watched it when I
Winnie
was
the
in
Pooh.
college for sure. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, the Smurfs,
Maybe we should do a
DuckTales.
sync
Like,
points.
You need a
oh,
website.
it's so good. This is not it. This is
No,
a commercial.
this is YouTube telling you guys you need a website from Belgium.
Absolutely. Yeah, the whole thing is up on YouTube. It's 32 minutes long.
Wait, I've seen
Oh my gosh,
this.
Bugs Bunny comes in later.
Why are they wearing?
I've
their
seen this. They showed
initials?
this in school.
They probably did. Yeah, and there's like an anthropomorphized drug thing. I think he was
That
trying
Ghost?
to. He was smoking. Yeah.
Michelangelo.
Ever get so totally cool?
He's on drugs.
Like you felt
Yes, I remember this.
me.
This was shown in San
Wait.
Diego public schools, guys.
10-point penalty.
There's Alf telling you not to do drugs as a football ref for some reason.
Muppet Babies.
Yeah, the Muppet Babies show up. Like these were all of my favorite shows, and I didn't care that it was about drugs.
Winnie the Pooh just woke up a Kermit the Frog alarm clock. This is like the Avengers Infinity War.
And that's exactly what it is. Infinity War is actually going to be a remake of this. Some kid is going to try drugs.
And Thanos is going to be like, I say you shouldn't be doing them drugs.
No.
Slimer from the Real Ghostbusters shows up. Just slime the shit out of this kid.
That's Miss Piggy.
That's Miss Piggy, right? Okay.
Yeah.
This kid's old. I thought it would be younger.
Well, because a lot of it is his younger sister. Her like cartoon characters are coming to life to convince him not to do
Oh, and
drugs.
he's like
It's also
16.
just his pants, like the jeans that are so high and his shirt tucked in.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, it makes him look
it's awesome. Maybe we should do a
With the
sync
belt,
points to
the
it.
belt makes him old. I don't know.
old. Yeah.
Only older people wear belts, not kids.
But anyway, that was one of my treasured Blockbuster memories. I used to rent the shit out of that tape all the time. What did you guys rent when you went to Blockbuster?
Well, I was trying to think, and I don't think when I was a kid living in Brookline, Massachusetts, that we had a Blockbuster. But or
Was it Hollywood video territory?
no, I don't. Well, I'm not saying that there wasn't a Blockbuster there, but we didn't have a.
You were not Blockbuster
membership.
people.
Yes, but I think my first memory of a Blockbuster was when we visited my grandparents in Canada, and one time we went there. I'm pretty sure it was a Blockbuster. We rented French Kiss with Kevin Kline and Meg Ryan.
Yes.
And then every other time we went to visit my grandparents, we went to Blockbuster and rented French Kiss. And I always looked forward to it so much, and I still watch it a lot.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
See, I think I've only watched the opening of that.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've never seen it. I remember it coming out.
Gerard
but-
Depardieu.
So good, you guys. Okay.
No, well, that was
Is he in
No,
it?
but then
That
a
was
different
Green
French
Card.
actor.
There was a movie called Green Card.
Is that
with
what I'm
Gerard
thinking
Depardieu
of?
and My Father the Hero, which
That
I
one,
remember
that-
renting from Blockbuster
My
once.
father here, I know.
But the
Yeah.
other thing was that when I moved back to Germany when I was 10, Germany was like super behind on movie rentals. So
For good reason.
for a good reason, but it would just like wasn't like it was like huge here, but nobody really knew about it in Germany. But there was one movie rental place in Munich, which is where I'm from, and they also not only was there a movie rental place, but they had an English movie
Ooh.
section.
Okay.
And it was down in the basement. It was this huge place, just like
Behind a
filled
curtain.
with
Yeah. There was lots of naked hugging in those movies.
And they were doing it the way I
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
oh my god.
Pooping in their mouths.
The no way.
But
So did you would you rent movies from there?
yeah, always.
Did you rent French Kiss?
Oh, I'm sure. Or by that time, I probably had a copy of French Kiss.
Yeah, right. You stole it from another Blockbuster.
But I did get a Blockbuster membership when I was in college. That was the first time.
Yeah.
I remember
I
8th
never
Street.
got one.
It was
on
huge.
Oh yes,
not on 8th Street,
Broadway.
On Broadway.
Wait, in New York?
Yes,
Yeah,
in New York.
in New York.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh
was-
yeah,
that was my
Blockbuster's not
Blockbuster,
there
too.
anymore now. It's a
Yeah,
nail
I mean,
salon, I think.
Yeah, it's close
Yeah,
down.
yeah. But I remember it was a huge deal when like my mom put me on the Blockbuster account so that I could rent movies without her, which
Right.
we needed once we were in high school.
Yeah. I know. I opened my own, and I remember freaking out because they're like, "We're gonna put $70 on your credit card." I was like, "What?" Like, we'll take it off.
It's all the
just a
money I
deposit."
have in the world.
It was. I actually, it's funny. So I was actually a member of that exact same Blockbuster.
Yeah.
But I didn't use it because it was like a 10-minute walk from my dorm. And when I first moved to Manhattan, I assumed, if you had to walk more than 2 minutes anywhere, that was too far.
Yeah.
So I wanted everything, like, I wasn't used to walking around. I was used to walking around Staten Island, and everything
Yeah.
was kind of far. So I was like, it's New York. Everything's right here. So there was a mom and pop video store on 8th Street. Between Broadway and Fifth Avenue, and I think it was called Couch Potato, something like that. And I went and I rented a few movies, and I rented Super Troopers, which I had
Nice.
seen a million times. I was in Southern Theater. It was just one of my favorite movies at the time.
Yeah.
And I rented it, and I just got really lazy. I never returned it. Like I
Oh,
just
no.
never returned. I don't know what's wrong with me. I never returned my library
You're a
books.
scofflaw,
Yeah, I was
Jack.
about to say,
Yeah,
I
they
have
withheld my
library
diploma
books
for
that.
for a year until I gave back 3 library books. And all this, I just don't return shit. I'm just the worst, and it takes 5 seconds. And I just held on to it, and then at some point I was like, well, now I'm not going to do it because the late fee is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let me go do it. So I go and I show up, and there's like a guy at the counter. I was like, excuse me, I've had this movie for 8 months. And the guy goes, oh, okay. And I was like, I guess it's just cheaper for me to buy it at this point. And he's like typing, and he's like looking, and then this old man in the back just goes, that's all right. Let him free. And I was like, well, he goes, that's very honest of you to bring it back after so long. Don't worry about it. And the guy
That's nice.
and the guy's like, what, really? And he goes, yeah, that's fine. I was like, thank you so much. He goes, in fact, here's some store credit. And he gives me $20 in store credit.
Wow.
He's like, you're a good customer. Why don't you come back and rent some? I was like, okay, sure. So I go back, and like 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm gonna use the store credit, and I go, the store's closed.
I knew that was coming.
That's why he's
I'm
giving you
guessing
store credit.
either he was giving me store credit because they were about to close, or maybe he had Alzheimer's and he was just giving everybody store credit, and that was why they closed.
Yeah, that might be why they closed.
And I
Oh,
never,
man.
old couch potato. It became this really yummy Italian deli 2 years ago that I would go to and get this amazing prosciutto mozzarella sandwich, but I don't know what it is now.
How very Staten Island
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
Prosciutto mozzarella.
Yeah. That's kind of
Well, that's
amazing.
awesome. But Blockbuster, we should say, is no more.
Yeah.
They're
So
gone.
their big mistake
What a
was
difference.
Netflix when it was in disc form.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were like, nobody's, that's just for some nerds, some internet nerds. We'll be fine. What they should have done was use their catalog, use their licensing, and opened up their own digital version, which they sort of did, but
They
half-assed.
They tried
Yeah.
too late.
Yeah, it was too little, too late.
If I remember correctly, I think Netflix wanted to be purchased by Blockbuster, and they could have bought
Really?
the whole operation for like $100
I guess
million.
it's impossible to know at this point because it's so
Well,
far.
but
Yeah.
before streaming, like
But
when it was still the
see, what I'm
discs.
saying is, I've heard from Reed Hastings. Is he the Netflix
Yeah,
guy?
he's the CEO.
What I heard was they always wanted to do. They came up with the idea of streaming video. They're like, this is what we're gonna do. It's too expensive and internet's not fast enough yet. In the
Yeah.
meantime, we'll build up some capital with this disc idea. So
really?
you don't know if that's true or if that's just like some rich billionaire going,
Yeah.
I always had this idea. You don't know.
Sure.
Because if they wanted to get bought by Blockbuster, that tells me
I
that
mean,
that couldn't have been. Those two ideas don't mesh.
I could be wrong. I just know that Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix, and they were like, "What do we need this
No,
for?
they
We're
should've.
Blockbuster."
Because Netflix is one of the most powerful. I think they might be on their way out. I think Amazon's going to edge them out eventually.
no.
Really?
I don't know about
know.
that.
Because they have,
just-
unlike Amazon or to a lesser extent Hulu, they just have stream. Like Amazon can lose money on its licensing all it wants, and that's why Netflix
Yeah.
has switched to original programming.
Yeah, Netflix is now becoming HBO, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They
maybe they'll
just-
survive like that, but I don't go to Netflix anymore except for maybe some Netflix originals because their catalog sucks.
Oh,
Because
see?
they're not spending money on
See,
those catalogs
here's the deal
anymore.
about Netflix, and why I don't think it's as fun browsing Netflix as it is browsing Blockbuster is
Yeah.
because I get stuck on the same shows
Yeah,
because they
that's
have
true.
recently watched.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so like it's a real effort to start browsing. I actually don't. I
Yeah.
watch the same 4 shows.
Yeah.
And they're in my queue, and then somebody comes over and is like, "You should watch this show," and I start watching that, and that's then in my
Yeah,
queue
then you have 5 shows to
yeah,
cycle
exactly.
through.
But so basically, I'm always watching a constant, 4 shows
Yeah.
on repeat, and sometimes one of them changes out.
Yeah.
But
But it's
but I don't browse. I think that's very
Yeah.
interesting that you actually browse.
Oh, I
don't
definitely browse.
I
on
browse.
Netflix.
And here's the thing: I browse what they give me, and they don't give you much. They give you a few hundred titles on that main menu, but
Yeah.
that's nothing. That's like 1%. And once you get stuck in that loop, like I look up, I'll go to sci-fi fantasy, and I'll look, and I like
Yeah.
that's not all the sci-fi fantasy.
Right,
That's
there's
just
definitely
they're
more.
just giving me like 100 that they think I want, and there's no way to search the rest unless
Wait, what is Amazon like then?
I don't like Amazon's interface at all.
I don't like their interface either. I'm just saying
I think that's
what
for
they're all
financial
about.
for financial
They have
reasons, I
stuff
think
that-
they're going to
yeah.
last a lot longer.
Well, yeah.
But it's interesting to think that of these titans, your
Yeah.
Hulu's, your Netflix, your Amazon, it could have
Yeah.
been Blockbuster. It could have been Blockbuster. It,
could've
just
been-
could have just.
It probably should
It
have
could
been
have transformed
really.
itself the way
Yeah.
Amazon has.
But
Amazon was a
what?
bookstore.
You know
Yeah.
what? Netflix I read that they just came out with their first original German show and their first original, I think, Italian and Spanish show. That's like
Okay.
those
Okay.
languages,
Yeah.
in those countries.
They're definitely
But-
doing a big international push.
That'll probably
Yeah.
be Amazon then. Amazon will probably be the new Blockbuster because if Netflix is just going to go into this, let's be HBO. Let's just make all our own original content because it's way cheaper than buying the licensing to other movies. And that's basically where they are now. That's all I'm watching from Netflix is Netflix originals. Or
And they
maybe,
have
yeah.
a kind of
That's
brand
so
that's
yeah.
different.
Whereas if I rent a
from other-
movie, it's through Amazon.
See, I rent it
Interesting.
through because we have a Roku TV.
Yeah.
So you just search the Roku TV and
Yeah,
they
and
tell
it
you
whatever
where
tells
to
you
go.
where
They're
things
like,
are, yeah.
this is where it is, and you're like,
I'm waiting for my Xbox One to get there. I feel like
Is that
that'll be
how
all
that works?
devices
Oh, that's
eventually.
cool.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
cross app.
I mean, I feel like what we've lost with the digital thing is I usually either browse Netflix just to see what's on there, and then I end up not watching anything, and I just watch Futurama again or Frasier.
I hate that. I spend 45 minutes browsing and then I end up going,
I know, and
it's
then
time for bed.
And then, yeah, exactly.
see, that's why you just always should put on Friends. Just put on Friends.
Maybe
you
a
just
lot of
have to
times we
make
do.
a
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do it with the Golden Girls, and I can't. I need to watch something from start to finish. I can't just put something on in them like randomly.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I can't. I
See,
can't
that's
do
what
it. I can't do it. I've been trying with Golden Girls, and I can't. Now I'm gonna have to go and find like 3 weeks to watch all of Golden Girls because I watched one episode from season
I've
7.
never seen Golden Girls.
So now I have to watch them all.
So
from
now
the
you're
end.
well, I have to watch the
I gotta
entire
watch.
series.
Then I gotta watch Empty Nest, Golden Palace, and Nurses. I gotta
So-
watch
and
the
you
whole
have to
Guardians
watch
of Miami
it you have to watch it
in order. I have to watch in order. So
That's-
right now,
I do too, though. I can't.
So
jumping
I really
around.
wanted to watch. I really want to watch Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Ooh, good one.
So I started watching it
Yeah.
4 years ago by watching the original series, and I just wrapped up the original series, and then I watched the animated series, and I would stop and watch
Wait,
the movies.
I'm so
this is a little crazy.
So you watched it?
I've never seen it yet. I haven't gotten up
Yeah,
to it.
right, 'cause you
I
haven't
won't get
gotten
up to
up
it
to
for
it
another
yet.
10
Yeah,
years.
So
yeah.
hang on a second. Let's
But
just
I'm dying to
recap
watch
this.
it.
yeah, you
There was a time 4 years ago when you were like, I want to watch Deep Space Nine. I better watch
everything that was made before.
hours of television
Well,
and film
I also
before
want
that.
to watch those. I wanted to watch original
Right,
series
right,
from
right.
next year.
You
But
wanna
I
watch
really
Star
wanted to
Trek.
watch Deep
But
Space
what
Nine.
I
But
find interesting is that you like not only did the show, but then like did the segues off
Yeah,
the show.
so-
you,
'Cause
like,
you
did
watched the animated
well, the animated
series.
series is canon.
I know- I know it
It's
is.
basically season 4 of the original series. But yeah, so like right now, I'm gonna watch. I'm up to season 2 of Next Generation. After that, I'm not gonna
That's a
watch
good
season
season of
3.
Next Generation.
I'm gonna watch Star Trek 5: Final Frontier because that came out in between the seasons.
Right,
Now
okay.
I've seen that movie 30 times.
Yes.
I don't need to watch it again, but I have to sit down
I
and
must
watch
experience it.
Same with the Bond movies.
But I think that's why I've never started Star Trek,
It's a lot.
which is like
That's
so
fair. It's a big
embarrassing
commitment.
to me to admit to you, Calaine.
It's okay. You also, I mean, there are other things, and I still love you.
you guys are so the anti Dan and Jack.
Yeah, that's really true. Jack, I think it's
I
disgusting
tell
that
him
you
I
watch
thought my
this.
mom dies. He laughs.
No, I know. I really think that's okay, though. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. But I mean, I because I always feel, because I love enjoying the things that I enjoy, I never want to push something on someone because I want them to enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying something that I really love, it just makes me feel shitty. So I'm always like,
That's
okay.
true,
Yeah,
but what
I
about
hear
the
that.
opposite effect? Dan pushed 2 shows this year on me hard. He pushed others, but he pushed 2 shows, and I was just like, shut the fuck up, because it's not just Dan, it's everybody. Everybody, watch Leftovers, watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Finally, I watched them, and they were amazing, and I'm so
Yeah,
glad.
that's
And like now,
true.
they're
Yeah.
they're my favorite
Two,
shows.
two phenomenal shows.
Okay.
I'm never wrong, Jack.
Well, what do you think of Star Trek Next Generation? Talk about 90s. That's
Yeah,
90s.
I mean, that was the one out of all the Star Treks. That was the one I had some familiar experience with because I grew up watching it on syndication. But it's so different. You know, I feel like I didn't get the experience I should have, even though I saw, maybe 3/4 of the episodes, all the episodes. I don't know. At some point on a Sunday evening at 7 p.m., sitting here and watching them all in order, I get a certain appreciation. I never knew, I never gave a shit about Wesley before, and now when you watch all the episodes, I go, oh, I get it. He's this kid. He's got this angst. Yeah, these shows are meant to be. They're written in order. They should be watched in order.
Yeah.
I would tell people, if I tell people to listen to the show, basically I have to say pick this episode because I know they're not gonna do the whole thing, but I would rather them start from episode 1 because I think you would appreciate this episode more after hearing me and Dan for 54 episodes, and you kind of get a sense of, it's like, oh, so that's why Dan is laughing at Jack's dead mother.
I gotta get the backstory to that one. So if you were just joining this show as a listener, you would go back and listen to all of Worst Episode Ever and then start listening alternating
yes. So right now I just finished a podcast that I really wanted to listen to. And I put it off for 6 months because I knew it would be a commitment because I went all the way back and I had to listen to a year and a half of back catalog.
Sure.
I won't just I had that one new episode sitting in my feed for a year and a half as a reminder, but I would never listen to it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And if you listen to our other podcasts, especially Worst Episode Ever, I don't know how anybody could listen to that. It's like Arrested Development. You pretty much have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone listens to it, period, but that's besides the point. The only podcast I was like that with was Harmontown, which I went back and I listened to it right from the beginning, like 4 years worth of podcasts. I'm still like 15 months behind.
And like
current.
Comedy Bang Bang is another show I'm dying to watch, and I can't until I go, and that's hundreds and hundreds of episodes. I don't have the time. Even if I listen to all at 3 times
do
speed.
you have to sit down and watch a chunk at a time, or can you do one episode a night?
I think she's saying you have a compulsion. I should go to a psychologist.
I try to bang it out as quick as possible because if I do the one episode, eventually I'm going to fall off the wagon, and then it's going to be a whole thing getting back into the wagon.
So I have a
my
confession
Vanderbilt
to
book.
make to you. I am a hardcore Trekkie. But I'm a hardcore Next Generation Deep Space Nine Trekkie. I have not
That's okay.
actually watched that much of the original series.
So
I've only watched 1 or 2.
I never
movies.
watched a minute of it until my Deep Space Nine marathon that started 3 years ago, and I loved it. I think you will find there's a lot to enjoy.
I'll love it, right? Because I love Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and the whole stories behind Star Trek.
And I thought that
Right.
it was going to be this really dated '60s show that's that has nothing
It
to do with
is.
Next Generation,
Yeah.
but it's still just as smart. It's just it's dated. It's 20 years
dated,
older,
yeah.
but it's as smart as Next Generation was in 1987.
It's really cool because I love the show because it's philosophical, which is what they're taking away from it.
Star Trek's
in the
less
movies now.
philosophical, but than Next Generation because it doesn't have Picard, it has William Shatner.
Yeah.
But it's still, that's what I was expecting it to be.
but it has Spock.
So I was expecting the original series to be like the movies, basically, where they take it all out. It's all action. It's all bombast, and it's not. It was much more Next Generation than I expected.
Yeah.
Especially because of Spock. Now I get why everybody's obsessed with Spock. I was just like, oh yeah, he's got the ears, and he really is just this amazing TV character.
All right, nerds, are we done here?
No, we're not. It's so
I-
It
great.
really is so
I've
good.
watched
So
a
great.
handful of original series
Did you watch them in order?
episodes.
I've watched 0.
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe not.
There-
Maybe I jumped
it-
around.
Did you watch Next Generation?
So I've tried to start watching Next Generation
What do
a
you
few
mean,
times.
tried?
And I watched the first 3 episodes once, and then I gave up for years, and then I watched the first 15 minutes of the first episode again and fell asleep.
You see, you gotta get into season.
I know.
I actually sometimes I have different white noise generators to fall asleep to. One of them is a YouTube 100-hour clip of just the engines of the Star Trek Enterprise D from Next Generation.
That's
because
kind of awesome, actually.
that hum will put you to sleep.
Yeah.
And if you watch the show, if you remember this growing up and listening to it in syndication, like that noise is burned into my brain.
Sure,
Like that
sure.
noise is Sunday night, like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Right. And the opening, these are the journeys.
Nope,
Of the
Voyages. Right?
What?
Isn't
These
it?
are the voyages of the next. Oh God, I messed it up. That's really.
These are the
Rewind
the-
5 minutes ago. I'm actually a hardcore Trekkie.
Those words burned into my brain. These ships go fast.
I love Star Walk with Mr. Spook.
Actually, that's the what's his face? Picard.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart,
His,
yeah.
his Saturday Night Live monologue from like 1993 is him
Oh, yeah.
doing that speech wrong.
Yes.
You basically
Yeah.
just took that joke.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for
there
real.
you go.
That
See,
was a
it
great
was
opening.
planned. It was totally planned. Anyway,
You're-
all I'm saying,
Smooth.
very comforting. You
Okay.
play that monologue. I'm not going to try it again. Obviously,
Yeah.
I've learned from my mistakes.
And if you don't have this compulsion that I do, I hear Deep Space Nine is the best of the 5. So
Ooh,
Really?
ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
So and it's the one that's serialized, like Steel and Adam we're talking about.
Yeah, I do
so,
remember that.
that's what I'm gearing up to.
Okay.
See, Deep Space Nine was good, but they should have ended it a couple seasons.
Deep Space
sooner.
7, Deep Space 6.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, maybe. Except that it doesn't work that way.
You excited about the new one? New Star Trek coming out, 6 series, Star Trek Discovery.
I've been
Yeah,
different
they've
to it.
tried
I don't know how I'm
that.
going to watch it
I
because
would
I
have
won't
to
get.
start at the beginning. So
I don't really care.
I'm not going to get CBS All Access pass, so I don't
They,
know.
Yeah.
they kind of lost me with Voyager, and then they had another one. They had Enterprise.
Voyager, I've never
Enterprise.
seen an episode of.
Yeah,
I really like the movie. Not the first one.
The
one
reboot?
I
with-
like the one with
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
It's
good.
I did too. I loved that
They're all
movie.
three of them are solid movies.
Hated the second
I
movie.
mean, they turned it into an action flick.
Yeah,
which is
it's not
fine.
Star Trek, but it's a great movie.
Yeah,
Very fun.
And I, and I thought it was creative. They like, how do we reboot this series? Oh, let's just totally rewrite the timeline. Okay,
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
still canon.
Sure.
Still canon. Christina, you should watch because you would hate it. I can just already tell you would hate
you
it.
should watch something you'd hate.
You would be miserable the entire time and would throw you off the entire Star Trek canon forever. The first Star Trek movie, the motion picture. I think it's brilliant, but it is the slowest.
Why
like,
would I hate it?
because
maybe
it-
I love slow stuff.
Yeah,
Hopefully
really.
You need to love slow stuff to love it, but as a
judgy, Jack.
well, as a non-Star Trek fan, that is the worst thing to get into. Is my point.
It is one of the movies I haven't seen. I've seen 2, 3, and 4, maybe even 5. but I
Actually,
never
maybe
saw the first
maybe
one.
it would have
So
the opposite
many.
effect. Maybe because it's so head trippy, maybe and not really that story oriented. Maybe you don't need to know shit about Star Trek.
I love that you don't really know Kristina at all, and you're just like, you would hate this movie. Actually, maybe you'd love it.
Well, what I'm saying is
Knowing you.
my point is, Chris, I'm using Christina as a placeholder for people who've never seen any Star Trek. Is my point.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And so I'm saying I don't think anybody who's never seen Trek,
But-
we either
Wait,
would love it or hate it.
Did the movie exist before the show?
No, the movie was a sequel to the show after 10 years. And people were expecting like this was right after Star Wars came out, and they were expecting this big,
Right. Big
actiony movie, and
yeah.
it's a very very just head trippy.
They were expecting a
It's
blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's more 2001:
Whoa.
Space Odyssey. It's
Bringing it
very
back
slow,
around.
very philosophical.
Right,
I love it.
because the original series didn't do that well, right? It just became a cult fascination.
It became a thing. I believe
Yeah.
people watched it in the 70s on syndication,
Right,
and that's when like
exactly.
Trekkie culture became a thing.
People
Although-
like my scientist parents, and then they raised kids like me.
The fans of Star Trek from the actual time of fans did do a letter writing campaign and got them a season 3, which
Yes.
didn't exist.
Really?
So that was one of the
Oh my
first
God,
times that had
makes
ever
me
happened.
so
Just like Jericho.
happy.
Just like Jericho with the nuts,
and
or
wait,
Save
and
Our
Community,
Boots.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't that happen with
Community happened 6
Community
seasons in a
happened,
movie.
yeah.
But all of that, the Star Trek
Power
might have been
in
the
the
first ones to
people.
do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Community
well,
has a
Trekkies are
movie?
really.
Not yet.
No, but they 6 seasons in a movie. I think that phrase
that
started
was from
with
Community. Yeah. It was Abed talking about the Cape on NBC, which was a terrible show.
It was really bad. Oh, and then Keith David was in it.
Well, yeah,
And
you're right.
and he's actually was amazing in season 6 of Community. This might be a contrarian opinion. I think season 6, the Yahoo season of Community, brilliant. Better than season 5. Better than season 4. Maybe even better.
I don't know about better
I
than
don't know if
season
it's
3.
better than season 2 or 3, but I would say David Keith or Keith David rather, and I forget the name of the woman that was in season
Paget
6.
Brewster.
Paget
Love
Brewster.
her. Love her.
They both of them fit into Community, and I like them better than either Troy or Chevy Chase.
I'll say this: I recently was rewatching all of Community, and I got to season 6. I hadn't really seen season 6 aside from the first 2 episodes, and I stopped halfway through. I still have a bunch I haven't
Paget
watched.
Brewster was so should have been on the show from day one. She was so brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I love Paget Brewster. This is not our Community podcast. It's not. You guys didn't come here to talk about Community. That's for tomorrow.
okay.
That comes out tomorrow. We've got about 12 plus minutes on the clock still. Do we have anything else we want to say about Blockbuster Video?
Did they ever make their own original movies like Netflix does?
No.
I feel like
think so.
I feel like
I
I
don't
saw
think
something
so.
where it's like
No,
Blockbuster Video
they
presents.
missed it.
They may have had
missed
like
out.
exclusive direct-to-video things, but I don't
Okay,
think
like
they
as a
actually
dis-
produced
as a
them.
distributor.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably where I saw it. They
They,
should have done
they
that.
had their own movie awards for a while. Remember the Blockbuster
Did they
Movie
really?
Awards?
That-
yeah, in the early
yeah.
2000s, I think.
That's smart.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they're just
People love
dead
award
now.
shows.
And
Yeah.
They made a lot of stupid decisions after that, let's say.
we should all learn from their mistakes.
People still want to go to a store to get a movie, right? Stupid idiots.
Well, where do where do teenagers go who don't want to work in a fast food restaurant? What's the new teenager job? To me,
Yeah, I don't know.
Coffee houses.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they'd be
baristas.
baristas. Yeah,
Maybe. Baristas. You're probably
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Where do
in
people like
grocery
us?
stores.
Now,
people
where do I go for a job
Yeah,
right
where's
now?
Jack-
That's what I'm
where's Jack
asking.
at a
Grocery
job?
stores, right?
Where does 39-year-old Jack Pacone go?
You have aged a lot in this past hour. No, where I wonder where like teenagers who were like us, like nerdy movie loving kids.
Because even movie theaters hire less people now, probably because there's less of them.
yeah.
Not even higher. Like where do they go? Do they just sit in each
For
other's
funsies?
basement and
Oh,
swipe
no.
across Netflix?
No,
Yeah,
they don't even do
probably.
that.
They don't
What
even
they
do that,
do is
you're right.
they sit around in our living room and they
They're
all stay on their
twitching.
phones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
watching it
I
on
watch
YouTube.
it. I work in a school. I watch 18-year-olds, and they all hang out, but
Kids are
are
the
all
worst.
isolated. They're
Yeah.
all doing
on
their thing.
phones. I mean, are they watching things together on the phone?
No, it's the act of being in the same room is good enough.
Interesting.
Which is something I do with like my girlfriend and like I would do with my family growing up, where it's like it's just good enough to be in the room, but it's
Right.
weird to do that. Like, hey, you guys want to go hang out?
Right.
That's
and then
weird.
you just all sit there and text other people.
That is weird.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
But
say?
something that I like that is coming up is when you can like sit together on the couch and play a game using your phones and like with the TV, but you're
Ooh, yeah,
playing
we did that at game night.
together. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been
we
waiting
did-
for
we
that
did
for
sounds
years.
awesome.
It's really fun.
It's
yeah,
really
they
fun,
need
yeah.
they need to make that
What was that
more
called?
user friendly.
Drawful.
Yeah,
Drawful.
it was like a
Drawful.
it's like a picture
Pictionary?
game on the
Yeah.
screen.
Oh.
It's
So wait,
using
hilarious.
It sounds awesome, but how do you get it on the TV? Is it
I
like
think you have like
Bluetooth?
you have an app.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then you go in your browser on your phone. Each person goes and you go to a certain site, and then you're like logged in
Oh.
to the game that you're playing.
Is it just
as a
this one
group.
drawing
That
game,
sounds
or are there
awesome.
other
No,
games you can play?
there must be
there
lots.
has to be other
I've,
games.
I've been getting this. Facebook knows me well. I've been getting this Facebook ad in my stream a lot, but I think it's a Kickstarter. It doesn't exist yet, but it's like
Sure.
It's called Playtable. Have you seen this?
Playtable? No.
And it's like you buy it. It's probably like $1,000, and it's about the size of this TV tray here, and it's a giant tablet with like preloaded
Oh,
board
okay.
games on it, and basically,
board games.
so basically, if you want to play board games, it's a digital board game. So you can upload any board game. You have like Settlers of Catan on there. You have checks.
Oh, that's
che-
so
checks.
cool.
You have
That
Chex
is
Mix.
nuts.
Well, you
Yeah.
know
Chex Mix.
there are also board games that are regular old timey board games, but like what is the game that we played with Chad that is like you can have Betrayal at House on the Hill. Have you guys ever heard of that board
No.
game?
I have heard of that actually. I've never played it though.
So like the original has a little card where you have like what's your strength and your intelligence and stuff like that, and has a little
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, because the clip always falls off and it's really annoying, you can get an app that tracks your strength and your intelligence and stuff.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like most games would be benefit from being digitized. Clue would be easier.
you could play a game of Clue in like 10 minutes if you digitized it.
Yeah, or categories.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to like fight over is this count? Does this count? Like,
You don't
just have
gotta
the-
find a bunch of pens for people.
Yeah, exactly,
and
exactly.
Someone's like,
Pens.
my pen doesn't work.
wait.
But
That's like part of what it is to play a game.
That's part of game
what-
night, yeah.
I mean, it's like the same way that I feel about Blockbuster. It's just like there's something tactile about going
Yeah.
and like picking
See,
up the thing
tactile
and
is
looking
the
and
perfect
walking
word.
through.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need
yeah.
that.
That's what I miss from
I don't have
Blockbuster.
game nights. Once
Oh
a
my
blue moon,
God,
me
we
and
should
Dan, if we have
invite
friends
you.
over.
We
Yeah.
should have game night.
I love
Definitely.
game night. So here's my
Yes.
favorite game in the world. Dan knows this, and I try it every occasion to get him to play it. And we do like 2-3 times a year, but that's not enough for me. It's called Likewise.
What's that?
So you know how to play categories?
I like
Yes.
Likewise.
Yeah,
I
no,
love
I was saying like I
categories.
would be like
Do you wanna
I
play
want to
it
have
every
like a
night?
weekly Likewise game like where we all have cigars and we're smoking around the table. We're playing Likewise.
Weekly might be a bit much, but yeah.
We complain about our wives. And,
Yeah.
like poker
Like
games
football
with cops.
guys.
Wait,
yeah,
do you guys
right.
know the game Code Words?
Oh, it's the
No,
best
but
game
it sounds
ever.
amazing.
Code
Oh
names.
my god, it's
Code
the best.
names.
Code names.
Code
but,
names.
But there's
You guys
also,
don't know the names or words of things you seem to love.
Yes, this has been my problem my entire life. Okay,
You're filled with so much enthusiasm.
I am.
that
I'm
you
filled
can't get
with so
words
much
out.
knowledge and
the love that
experience,
counts.
It's the
and
love.
yet I
The
don't know
enthusiasm.
the name.
How's
So
code
wait,
words
what's
work?
code words?
Oh,
or
it's-
names,
It's
whatever
code
it is.
names, actually. Code names.
Now it's gonna spread. Now it's just code words.
Now we're just gonna
forever.
call it code words.
Oh my god, I don't know. It's a little.
Okay.
You-
So you have. Are you ready? You have an. Wow. How do you?
You have cards with nouns on them. Okay.
Okay.
And then you
Pictures,
make a little
depending.
grid with the cards 5 by 5, and there's one spy master. Oh no, sorry. There's 2 teams.
Okay.
And each team has a spy master. And the spy masters come and they sit on one side of the cards, and the teams sit on the other side of the cards. And you have a little grid. You pick a grid.
Which is like Minesweep that shows you where the bomb is.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Minesweep. I can't
It
believe
is like
you,
Minesweep.
I can't believe you compared it to that. That's so funny. Used to play that all the time in the 90s. And what you and the grid tells you which of the cards that are out in the 5x5 grid are blue. So one of the teams is blue, and which of them are red.
Okay.
And you have to try to get your team to guess the right cards that are your cards. And the way you do that is you say one word, and then you say how many cards
It's associated
pertain to that word.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
interesting.
And it's so fun.
I feel like I
And
need
then
to
you
be
can't
playing
do
it to really
anything
pick it up.
else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
But it's
So you
very-
could say one word, right?
Just one word. And if they guess that something that's like a red card and you're on the blue team,
Yeah.
the red team will get the point.
Ah.
Right.
And there's also an
That's really cool.
assassin, and you
Right.
never want to pick the assassin.
That's the bomb, right? That just blows up the entire game and everyone
lose.
dies. Yeah.
So is this a game that you like buy, or is this a game?
Oh yes,
Okay.
It's
okay.
in Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
as we speak.
As we speak
be
right now.
Be careful because I bought it for my family, knowing it was such a great game.
Yeah.
and I didn't realize there were different versions.
What?
And
Oh.
there's a version.
Did you buy like the
with-
dirty version or something?
No.
Is there a junior version?
No, I bought the one with pictures on the cards instead of words,
Ew.
and the pictures are like this weird surrealist, melty dolly clock
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
thing going on, and my little brother and sister who are like 13 and 11 were like, what is this picture? Why is there a man melting off of a what?
Wait, that can't be as good as the word one, though.
It kind of is.
It is? Oh,
I mean, because the picture can be interpreted so many different ways. So the word, so you can really fall into the same trap, which is overthinking.
Right. But what's fun about it is that everybody's talking about what they think. It's like a really loud,
That's cool.
party game.
I
Yeah,
couldn't play
yeah.
that in here because I have horrible neighbors.
Yes,
but,
it's true.
Right.
The one
that
game I
sounds
want to
awesome.
explain, likewise. So the reason I love it is it's not even as much like to play it. I just love thought exercises and where people's minds go. So this game, it's like the opposite of categories. It's basically everybody gets a paddle and a dry erase mark, and there's 2 cards. There's a noun and an adjective, and you put the noun, you put the adjective down for each round. And so say it says outrageous celebrity.
Yeah.
Now everybody writes down an outrageous celebrity. Now, unlike categories, you don't want to come up with something unique. You want to come up with what you think everybody else is going to have.
Right.
So whoever has the majority of the words. So if me and Dan and Calaine put Lady Gaga and you put Nicolas Cage, we get a point and you don't. So the game is
You
basically.
know Kristina so well. You knew she'd pick Nicolas Cage.
So it's so much fun because of the group thing. And the reason they split up the cards is you don't usually get something so easy like outrageous celebrity. You usually get something like
Outrageous sandwich.
mysterious silverware.
Yeah.
Right? and then half the people put spork. Even though that doesn't.
I went
it's
butter knife.
Well, there you go.
Is that mysterious?
But no, so what I really like is where people's minds go. So I was playing the first time I was playing it, and I was blown away. I bought it. I ended up playing it all the time. The first time I was playing it, we got legendary book, and it was like 8 of us. 4 people put Lord of the Rings,
Yes,
and 4
that's what I was
people
gonna
put the
say.
Bible.
I would have put the Bible.
I
would
put
have
the
put
Bible,
Lord of
yeah.
the
And
I should have put Lord of the
Moby
Rings.
Dick.
Yeah, so it shows you. It's very interesting.
Oh my God, I love this game.
it's
Let's
so-
play
oh,
this
it's so
game
great.
now.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're gonna bust it out.
Yeah.
We're almost out of time. Yeah, it's interesting because game night and I feel like renting movies at Blockbuster kind of went hand in hand. I'm keep trying to tie it back to the.
See, I
topic.
never like
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
the
yeah.
two things
Well,
together
'cause, like, I
because
feel
then
like-
you try to watch the movie and then you can't
like
do both at the
family
same
game
time.
night was a thing, and I
But
feel
you
like
could
you watch
play
a movie
game and then watch a movie.
Exactly.
We should play a game of Likewise and Periscope it and play with our
Is
fans.
Periscope still?
Sure.
It is with us.
Yeah, wow.
We still use Periscope.
Facebook
for,
Live did not
yeah.
go well. We
No.
like the Periscope better.
No, it did
fair
not.
What about? I thought Snapchat
I don't know how to
knocked
use that.
I don't know
Periscope out.
how to
Did
do
you hear that
Snapchat.
Snapchat has its own little 2-minute series?
What?
Yes.
No.
Snapchat,
Yes,
if
they're
you're
making their own
listening,
original
I
content.
just
Doing
want
original
you to
content.
know I have a 2-minute series, and it's called B. and you should pick it up.
Yeah.
It's available in Belgium.
Yeah.
Joey Snap, the
Don't
founder of
listen to that man.
Snapchat, is a big listener.
Joey Snap actually sounds like the type of guy that would have come up with Snapchat.
Yo, I'm Joey Snap.
Here's Playtable, by the way. This is
okay.
this is this tablet. Anyway, let us know on our Reddit if you guys want to play likewise with us. Basically, watch me and Dan play, and then I guess comment your own answers after. I don't know how it would work.
Oh, this is nuts. We're looking at the video for Playtable.
So all it is a big iPad, but with
Right.
and all the apps are board games. But you can also use physical pieces
Just
with
physical
it.
pieces,
Right.
yeah.
Do you
That's-
have to like, or does it come with all the pieces
I'm-
for all the games, or what?
I again, it's not out yet, so I'm not sure. But I would guess that you could buy games, so you could buy like a set of physical stuff.
Yeah,
These
that's
things-
really cool.
These look like that looks like a Pikachu over there.
That's definitely Pikachu. I see Charizard. as
So
well.
I know Settlers of Catan, which I don't even know what that game is, but I know it's popular. I know
oh my
that's
god,
a great
you
game.
don't know what
you
it
should
is?
play it. Yeah.
I know of it.
Okay.
It's like Monopoly, but better.
Oh, then
Oh my
I'm,
God,
then I'm
so
out.
much
If it's
better.
anything
I
like
love
I'm out.
Monopoly.
Monopoly is
Monopoly's
great.
the best.
There's a time and place for
Played
Exactly.
that a lot
Monopoly.
in the 90s.
Yeah, I get mean around Monopoly.
Really mean. I threw
really
tantrums
mean.
when I was a kid.
I have
Played
I have
Monopoly and
made
didn't
my
win.
siblings cry.
I have
because of
the,
that game.
That's
the
why I love Monopoly. I love
Yeah.
to just torture people.
I have the
Yeah.
original non-Monopoly Monopoly extra Monopoly set, the where they came up with the blank edition. So the very first one was New York edition.
Yep.
And it's very different from the New York edition now. This one came out in the early 90s. And the boardwalk is Trump Tower.
Jack, of course
Oh,
it is.
and
because
the-
Trump
Do you
Tower
know
is the
Stop
best.
so-
And the Mediterranean Avenue, the cheap $60 property, was the Twin Towers.
Oh my god.
yeah. So,
Anything about that?
no, nothing.
No.
Got nothing.
Nothing on that one. Make America great again. I'll see you folks next week.
He just keeps popping up though. I watch old movies, old rom
Oh,
coms.
he's everywhere. Yeah.
and he's everywhere.
You're watching Home Alone 2? Lost in New
2
York?
weeks notice.
2 weeks
Thank
notice,
you.
there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in old hip hop movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Donald Trump, yeah, symbol of wealth. Yeah,
What
Yeah.
old hip hop movies are you watching?
yeah, hip hop music videos. not-
Okay,
not-
okay.
not-
Actually,
Got it.
wait. I'm doing a one-woman show where I'm playing Donald Trump's mom, and
Monald Trump.
Donald Trump, and there's very little footage of her to be found online. But in one of the interviews, she said she's talking about how Steven Spielberg just asked her son to be in a movie, so he couldn't be there at the interview.
What Spielberg
What's
movie is he
Spielberg?
in?
He's not in a
No.
Spielberg
Maybe
movie.
Spielberg was producing it.
No,
Yeah,
he's
maybe.
in everything.
Is he in Back to the Future too? Is he,
I don't
is he
think
Evil
so.
Biff?
Well, he is,
He
but he
could
wasn't
be.
playing it. That's insane. I don't think he was ever in a Spielberg movie, unless he was E.T. under the makeup.
I think in Raiders of the Lost Ark, after the Nazi's face melts, I think
That's
that's
it.
Donald
That
Trump.
was me.
There he
It was
is.
perfect. They didn't want to use special effects, so they used my craggly face.
They told me close your eyes and you'll live, and I said no and keep them open. I see everything.
Oh my
I
goodness.
picked the best cup there, and it said Trump on it.
It was gold.
It was
had
solid
all
gold.
Jewels.
It was amazing. Everyone said so.
Bernie Sanders picked the humble wooden one.
And that's why he's a schmuck in Congress still. Anyway,
On that note,
on that note, we don't want to lament the state of our nation too much. We're running out of time. We got less than 90 seconds. Do we have anything else we want to say about Blockbuster, board games, Star Trek, any of these things that we talked about today? Nope. All right.
wait, I was gonna say
Well, we will
something, but
sit
I
here in
wanted to make
silence.
sure
You kind of cut them off. I could tell there was a thought coming there.
I wanted to make sure the words were right.
Okay, sure.
Because I didn't want to
That's
misquote
important.
I
my
love
favorite.
Blockbuster.
I didn't want to misquote my favorite show, and then I realized that I was going to anyway. So I realized I was going to misquote it, and then that's
Yeah,
what happened
okay.
with the silence. But live long and prosperous.
There you
course.
go.
No,
And
Prosper.
prosper.
Christina knows that. She's some nobody who's never
I even
seen
know
Star
this.
Trek.
Yeah, one of
doing
these.
the
Oh, I can't do that. Oh, you can
You
even
can't do
it.
that?
No.
Oh man,
you
we're all doing
okay.
Spock hands except Jack.
I can do it if Calaine
wow, you
holds my
can't.
fingers together.
Yeah.
Like I don't. So
you should just
so are you telling this finger to move to next to the
Yes,
pinky?
and you can
Yes.
train your body to do this.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
just- it's
what
a muscle
you're-
thing.
I'm moving this finger the way I move anything else, and it's not going. It's not moving in that
it's
direction.
just the muscle you're not
go like
using.
this and then
Maybe
just do this.
you need to do
Yeah.
hand yoga or something.
I think you need to do hand yoga.
But I
That's what
think
it
you
is.
actually should just
Downward
help it.
facing
I think you
downward
should
facing
just-
palm?
Yeah, right there.
Facing
I'm
dumb.
telling the finger to do that, and it's not.
Yeah, but just hold it for.
Riveting podcasting.
Wait. So just hold. If I physically hold it, you're saying eventually the muscle will learn to do it.
And that's going to do it for this episode of 90s Percentile. we're all learning a lot today. I'm sure you guys learned something, but we're going to turn to our guests, and I'm going to say, Kristina, Calaine, what did you learn today at this episode?
I didn't know there was such a thing as Tremors 1 or Tremors 2.
You don't know Tremors? Oh,
Me
man.
neither. I know.
Yeah.
That's what we'll
Solid
play during
movie.
game night. It really, Tremors 1 is an amazing movie.
We'll play Monopoly, we'll all scream at each other, and then we'll watch Tremors.
That's
Done.
fantastic. And likewise, and
likewise.
code names.
And code names.
And I learned about this game called. What is it called?
Likewise.
Likewise. Oh, that's what you just said.
Yes.
Likewise.
And you learned that we can't remember names.
Anything.
That is exactly what I learned. You guys love things, but are not totally sure on the details. Live long and prosperous. Jack, what did you learn?
I learned that Belgium may or may not have .be as its domain suffix. I'm trying to. I don't know how
yeah.
to confirm that because it's all in either Belgium or German. I don't
It's
know
all
what
in
they speak.
Belgianese. I don't know what that is.
I don't know if Belgian is a language.
Yeah, I have no idea. But that's going to do it for this episode of 90s Percentile.
Oh, wait, what did you learn?
I learned that you guys don't know how to say things that you think that you love. Should I have a more positive thing that I learned?
I learned that you should check out B
Ooh, nice plug.
at their website.
Perfect.
www.betheseries.com.
Exactly.
And that's correct.
Soon to be B.B.
No.
Soon to be B.B. And do you have a Twitter or anything you
we
guys
sure
want to plug
do.
also?
At
Be
Be
the
the Series. And then we're on Facebook, B, Bettina, and Elaine.
And we're also on Instagram at Be the Series.
Yeah.
And it's
ho.
B.E. Mm-hmm. Do you get any runoff from the current teenage craze of B movie? You know how
no.
teenagers
Are you guys familiar that teenagers love B-movie
They're
in this
obsessed
like
with it?
weird,
No.
super
No.
postmodern, ironic way?
Yeah.
That's so
They-
weird.
What's is that a
Why?
specific
Yeah.
movie or just like
B movie.
movies?
It's with Jerry Seinfeld, CGI B. He likes jazz.
It's not a great
Oh
movie.
no.
Not a great movie.
It's not bad.
No.
It's kind of bad.
It's not
but
B.
No.
It's become this
It's like a B minus.
It's become this like a rallying cry, I guess, for teenagers for when something's pointless. It's B movie.
Yeah.
I think.
They-
I think that's what it is.
they have,
I
like-
don't know.
they
I don't
have-
understand.
they have-
You mean like people say like that's so B movie?
No, it's not even they say things. They make YouTube videos. There's like
There's
somebody.
so many YouTube
there's
videos about B
somebody
movie.
does every time somebody says the word B, the movie
the
speeds
trailer,
up 10
yeah.
times.
Oh, yeah, the
they
movie.
do stuff like that. Somebody there's T-shirts
You
where
can
you
buy
have
a
the entire
t-shirt.
screenplay.
Yep, the entire screenplay on a t-shirt.
Somebody swapped out the B word B for the N word, and that put
Yeah, that
on
one
there.
wasn't great.
No, but that's like the type of weird shit that they're doing to this
Yeah.
movie.
When did it come out? What?
2008.
The movie came out in like
2009?
2008. Yeah,
Oh.
we saw it in theaters as 20.
My sister is like
older
3 rows
people
up,
than
and
that.
we're like, "You saw B movie? You're here? You saw B
You like
movie?"
B-movie?
So that we can. So that's a different B. You're BE.
We're BE,
Those are your
yeah.
social. Everybody should check you guys out. Watch
Yes,
watch
please.
season 1. Watch season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for season 3. Don't just pick a random episode. Start from the beginning and plow through the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Be a
and-
completionist.
Jack
And you
style.
can really
Jack
do
style.
it because they're nice and neat, like candy.
They're so short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can plow through season 1 and season 2 in an hour and feel very satisfied.
In the
Yeah.
length of a single Star Trek Next Generation episode.
That's right.
Yeah, basically, actually.
I mean, I hear it's 2 friends, 2 phones, 2 to 4 minutes of good times.
That's what I learned.
Check it out. Yeah, that's what I learned too.
So I'm at Jackie No Breaks.
I'm at Then Dan Says. I tweet very infrequently, but the show at 90s Percentile or at We Studios Pod is kind of our overall Twitter, so that's a good place to find us. And you probably already heard at the beginning of the show, but WePodcast.com is our website. Go there for old episodes, our other show,
Reddit,
our sync
YouTube,
points, all our social media, our newsletter, all that fun
Sign
stuff.
up for our newsletter. They come out sometimes.
Yeah, and hey, you can sign up if you're too lazy. Go to newsletter.wepodcast.com. That's a new thing.
And
Check
they
that
can just
out.
go to WePodcast.com and click
They
newsletter.
could if they want to do clicking
You're
and
making
stuff.
all these domain names left and right here.
You know, I'm trying to make it easier on the
Where's our
listeners.
.be's? That's what I want to
I'll
know.
get on that one
Belgium
too.
wants to know.
Belgium is dying to know when they're getting a
And
website.
if you're in Belgium and you just shop through the United States Amazon, it's
Yeah.
much easier for us to cash the
It's
checks.
so much easier to cash the checks from United States Amazon. So Amazon.wepodcast for that. And if you don't want to spend any money but you want to support the show, go on iTunes, leave us a 5-star review, tell us how much you love the show, use 90s slang, write a small essay like some listeners have done.
Yeah. Get creative with it.
Yeah, and if you do that,
Tell
you
us not to do drugs
have Alf tell us not to do drugs.
while giving us 5
Guys,
stars. on
don't do
iTunes.
drugs. It's not good. We
5
didn't have
stars.
drugs on Melmac. 5 stars.
No cats.
If you do write a review, you can have it read like read by a future guest But we don't have any to read tonight, so you guys are spared from reading an iTunes review.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Unless you guys want to write us a review on the spot.
Okay, sure.
Oh, wow.
Please
No
make,
pressure,
say
but on
no.
the spot.
Please,
said
please
yes to
make it
that.
5 stars, though.
Okay, this is a 5-star
Absolutely,
review.
it's
Oh,
5
good.
stars.
Look at
See,
that.
see,
Hey.
I
feel good
but
already.
this is how I review though. You're
Is
gonna
this
be
part of the review?
a little disappointed. I give 5 stars and go, great.
You know what?
I'll
take it.
That's a great review.
It's great. This podcast is great.
Please, please
Calaine said
remember,
so.
says so.
remember what you just said word for word, and please actually post
Please
that on
actually,
iTunes.
we need the ratings.
But it's not an exclamation point. It'll just be a period, by the way. Great.
It's a little muted, but if, as long as it's
But
5
it's
stars,
5
Straightforward.
I'll take it.
Straightforward.
just as long as
As
it's
long as
not
it's
like
not question mark.
nonsense.
Great.
great,
Definitely exclamation point worthy.
and don't like end it like sad or pathetic. Anyway,
But what episode is this?
50.
this is going to be episode
6.
56.
So this will
Oh,
be
you've been listening
Shit,
to.
we've been
this
doing
will
this
be
a
the
lot.
review.
We're doing this a
actually.
while.
The review
Yeah.
will be 5 stars. Great show.
Great show.
Fantastic. Really hits the mark with episode 56.
There we go.
Perfect. Nailed
We
it.
finally found our stride.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So, Kristina, Calaine, thank you so much for being here. This was terrific.
thank you for
We'd love to have
having
you back
Yes,
another time.
Thank you.
But that's going to do it for this episode of 90s Percentile. My name is Dan.
My name is Jack, and live long and prosperous.
Prosperous.